Wednesday, Save Our Sound updated our community on the group's efforts.
And here to talk about the Mississippi Sound Coalition's mission and what happened is Gerald Blessey. Mr. Gerald, as always, it's a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you so much. And kind of give us an update. You guys have some proposed legislation in place, and that's really the big news to come out of what you talked about this week, right?
Yes, Bill. Well, we've proposed the Northern Gulf Estuary Protection Act. That would be Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama, north of the Berry Islands, the brackish water that is the nursery ground for the seafood that's being affected by the Bonnet Carré spillway, which, by the way, leaks every day, 65 million gallons a day. So even when it's not open, it's hurting us with the polluted water from the river.
All right, so the idea is to take this to Congress and get Congress to back protection of the sound. How do you see it going forward? Do you feel like that you're going to make progress?
Our delegation in Mississippi, Congressman Ezell and our both senators, in fact, all 4 congressmen have endorsed trying to, first of all, get the study that the Mississippi River, Lower Mississippi River Comprehensive Management Study that the Corps was doing, which abruptly stopped in around April. We want to get that started again. But our delegation is very interested in trying to rally. Of course, we've got 31 states involved in emptying water into the Mississippi River, to take legislation under consideration to solve these problems, to have the Corps of Engineers walk and chew gum. That we want to protect from flooding. Nobody wants to flood New Orleans. But let's protect our seafood industry and our tourism industry that depends upon a healthy sound. So, I congratulate our congressional delegation. By the way, there's some interest in having a field hearing, a congressional field hearing right here. And they want to have it at Biloxi City Hall, by the way.
Okay, and they would invite congressmen from across the country to come in?
Across the country, and the Corps of Engineers,
okay,
and the coalition and local leaders, fishermen, tourism people, to put input as to why legislation is needed, which is a normal process, of course, before adopting something of that magnitude, because we're talking about remanaging the structures in the lower Mississippi River from Cape Girardeau to the mouth of the Mississippi. And in that process, relieve the pressure on the Bonnet Carré so that you minimize and hopefully avoid having to use it during a flood fight.
The last time the big opening with the Bonnet Carré was a total disaster. That was what, let's see, 19, and that was what, 5 or 6 years ago, right?
2019,
2019.
and 20, it's open a little bit.
Oh, that's right, it did, okay. And you've had to deal with the Corps. That's been the main, I guess, for lack of a better term, adversary. How have they maybe changed their philosophy? Do they listen now? Because at that time, it was just straight ahead. We're going to open it. We don't want to flood. Since then, have they become a little easier to deal with as far as what's going on over there?
Yes. Our delegation got this Lower Mississippi River study going, gave the Corps $25 million. Wednesday at our meeting, we handed out a letter from General Peoples, the head general in charge of the Corps' projects, thanking us for our input and encouraging more collaboration. So they're listening. Mm-hmm. They're listening partly because we sued them and won, you know, yeah. And it was really to make them study more. We can't make them change the operation. They've got to decide to do that, whatever Congress tells them. But they're certainly concerned more, and you know, I give them credit. They're experts. They want to do the right thing. The Congress needs to give them the authority and the money to do the right thing.
Yeah, so the solutions that you're looking for might be to let out water in upriver before it actually gets to the Bonnet Carré, right?
Yes, the Morganza, for instance, the old river structure, but you also have floodplains. You have like the New Madrid floodplain just south of Cape Girardeau, Missouri, which the United States owns, and they didn't use that in 2019. If you'd relieve some of that water, the volume, of course, it's very complicated formulas, but the Corps knows how to do it.
As far as letting out water upriver like that, what are the economic or the environmental impacts upriver, way upriver in Missouri, like you said?
Well, it depends on where it goes. Like if you have a planned floodplain like nature had for years, and like we do have some, we need more of those, then you know, that fertilizer and that polluted stuff would just go into a forest and maybe grow the trees instead of killing us. Right. Now, it's not good if it floods, you know, people's habitats. And of course, that's why it's such a challenge. You can figure out a way. There's a lot of territory there. And using more of the empty territory when you have a flood, like nature did for years, would relieve some of it. And then send some more down the Chafalaya River. Some of those folks want more water. And
Yeah, and you said that they're actively sort of pursuing that
Yes.
to get some more,
They've kind of been
more
on
water
board
in that
thinking,
area.
hey,
That's
this
right.
could be something, right?
That's correct. So we need a different formula. We need to update it. These structures are over 100 years old. And we now have computerized ability. Our legislature, which has been very supportive, gave us some money to provide Mississippi State and Southern scientists who presented their stuff on Wednesday. We're presenting studies to the Corps here by the end of this year that the legislature paid for to show here's how you can manage these things more precisely, open sooner, close sooner, use the other structures in tandem. I mean, it's kind of like a bathtub. Right now they got one place it's going, us. But if you have a number of holes, then of course everybody gets a little bit, but you don't get washed away.
Yeah, and when you watch the video of the Bonnie Carey, you see those wood pilings. And back when it was built, back in like 1910, something like that, or 20, that was probably a great idea. But like you said, technology's changed so much. So maybe that could be part of it as well.
Yeah.
Make it more technology. Everything else is.
Well, we're proposing to rebuild them with modern technology. It's 1933.
33, okay,
And
yeah.
Marganza was a little later, but they're all very old, before computers, and before modern. We've got a lot of modern engineering now where you can manage things more precisely. So it's, let's do it.
Yeah, there's a lot to look into.
Yeah.
Your organization, the Mississippi Sound Coalition, you did get funding from several different sources. How do you use the funding, and do you need more funding from local communities?
Well, right now, only Biloxi and Harrison County and D'Iberville are assisting in paying for the litigation and my work as the manager of the council of the committee. So we would hope that the other communities would come on board. In the beginning, Hancock County Board of Supervisors was also helping. All the scientific work, though, and the public advocacy work and the PR work is done through what the legislature gave to Harrison County. And so these scientific studies, which is most of what we do, and I handle those contracts, I manage those contracts for the coalition and the county. That's where most of our money has gone, to try to show the Corps what they should have been studying all along. Here's some recommendations for how you can manage it better. And so our main work is public education and advocacy, and by that it's everybody, but especially elected officials in Washington, D.C. and Louisiana and elsewhere in Mississippi.
Continuing to spread the
Yes,
message.
Right.
Okay, Gerald Blessey, that was a good visit there and a good insight there on what the issue really is, the bigger picture of controlling the Mississippi River.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Sir.